This is the recording for the shift management application. I'm going to start with starting the server for my backend. And now the server's running at localhost 5000, so I'll switch over to the front end and start the application. And this is the entry point to the shift management app. So first, the user should be able to log in with their valid credentials. Before I do that, I'm just going to quickly demo sort of error handling. So if I was to enter an email that's not correct, it won't let you log in because of the fact that it's not valid. So you need to ensure that you enter a valid email. Now the password here is correct, but I'm just going to change it. Okay, again, and it will show that the login isn't actually correct. So you need to make sure that the password is correct before you can log in. So I'll just change that back and actually enter the application. So this is the area where any user should be able to view their individual shifts. So they can interact with the interface of the calendar to view it by different time frames. So for instance, this week, this particular person has a shift starting at 2 and finishing at 10 on the Wednesday the 5th. So this is how individuals can view their shifts on the online interface. And should they wish to actually export their shifts, they can click on this button here, which should generate a PDF. And this can just be opened to show as well. So there is a page for each month of shifts, and it will just list it out like this so they can view the shifts offline. Now, this particular user is an admin, and therefore they've got an access to the manage page. So it's through this interface, which looks very similar to the view page. However, all of the shifts in the application can be viewed, edited, created and deleted. So for instance, there's other people's shifts now in the view as opposed to just the single person. So I'm now going to demo creating a new shift. So I'll just put one here. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go to a fresh week and just make multiple shifts. So if we start on this end here, and we can select anyone from the back end. So I'm going to just pick a random person and just confirm. And that should create the shift for this person. I'm now going to create a few more shifts, and then what I'll do is I'll show what it looks like for the other person. So I'll log in as Callum Woods and show what their shift looks like. So just continue to make some more shifts. I will also demo editing a shift here. So I will put a shift in here first and then go in and change it. So at the minute it starts at 6 and finishes at 12. I want that to be 2 o'clock. Just confirm that, and then it will change as a result. And I'll just create another shift. And I'll just do one more. And then I will also just delete the shift as well. So I'm now going to log in as Callum Woods so I can view the shift from their point of view. So if I just log out of the application to do that. I'm just going to get the email from the backend that I made for this user. So this can kind of demo the database that's being used, which is MongoDB. It's in the cloud, so you just log into the interface online, and then you're able to view the different collections that are there. So in my case, there are 2 separate collections. There's one for shifts and users, the 2 main data models that are being interacted with. So I just wanted to come and get the email for Callum Woods. So there's a shift that we made as an admin in the previous account. So if I just go to a week view just to have a closer look, this is the shift that we made for this person. And they can of course export that shift as well. And it will just be the single shift that we created for them. I'm now going to log out, go back to the admin account. So this is a non-admin account, and therefore the only pages they can see is view and account. So while I'm here, I might as well quickly demonstrate the account page. So this is where the user can amend their email or password. So I'm just going to change that to woods123, submit that, and then you'll see that the details have updated. Just to show that it's changed on the back end, this is the old email address here. And then I'm just going to refresh the page. So as you can see, the email's changed to reflect the change that we've just made. I'm now going to change their password. So I'm going to put in their current password, which is actually saved here. And then I'm going to enter a new one. Now I'm going to mistakenly make an error just to see the error handling. So these two passwords should match before you can actually submit. And you'll get an error to say that. So I'm now going to put it back to what it was. So now that the password has changed, we can sort of see it on the back end. So it is encrypted, but this value should change. So ending in IGE, let's say, hopefully that should change to reflect the fact that the password has changed. Okay, so the password hash ends in a different combination of letters at the end, and that just confirms that the password was also changed. So yeah, that's a demo of the account page. I'm now going to log back into the admin account. So now that we've shown how to actually create shifts for other people and view it from their perspective by logging into their account, I'm now going to show the final part, which is actually adding new users. So the main reason why you can't create an account on the login page is because this is a private application. So it would be used in a particular organization where they've got certain employees. So it shouldn't be a portal where anyone can sign up. Only people that are part of the organization should be able to sign up and create an account. So that's why those with admin privileges like this account can actually create a new account. So I'm just going to create myself an account. So once you get this pop-up, we can just confirm that the account has been made in two ways. One is to just check the database. And there I am right at the bottom. And I can now actually go in and just log in as myself as well. And this is the newly created account. So because there's no shifts allocated to this user yet, the calendar interface won't load. You'll just have this message to notify you that there's nothing here at the minute. So yeah, that's the creation of a new account. Now I'll proceed to just log out. And that's the demo of the main application. I'm now going to end by showing the tests written for the front end and then the tests written for the back end. So if we head over to running the test runner, which is called Cypress. So yarn run Cypress open should start the application for us. So there are various tests that are written for each of the pages. So before running the test, I will just show the actual code itself. So the way this framework works is it emulates a real user in the browser. So you're able to refer to this sty object and run some methods against it. So for instance, before I run any of my tests, I visit the actual app first. I then go and select an element with the ID of email. I then focus on it as a normal user and type in the email that I've stored here. I then do the same for the password and then find the button on the page, which should be the login button, and then just click on it. And then I perform the action that I want. In this case, I'm clicking on a link, which is an A tag that contains the text export shifts, and then it does a click. So that's how the tests are structured. So I'm now going to run the one for the view page. They do run quite quickly, so feel free to slow down the video to see each of the tests running. But as you can see, there's various test cases. So for example, here we've tested the ability for the user to log in and then export their shifts. So what's happened here is we've clicked on the download button, as you can see just on the right, and then the download commences. After that, we actually read the PDF that's been downloaded in the Cypress download folder and just check that it contains the shifts that we've exported. So that's done, through the test framework. So that's an example of one test, and there's various other tests that are in the application as well. I won't run all of them just for the length of the video, but they all run in a similar manner where various functionality is tested automatically. So just to finish it off, I'll show one more set of tests. So it's almost doing what's been done in this video, but automatically. And that helped me a lot when changing things in my app and seeing if anything broke as a result. So now that I've shown some of the tests for the front end, I will end with showing the tests for the back end. So the way that this test framework works is it runs an instance of the server, as we can see here, and then it will perform multiple requests that have been written in advance and check to see whether the expected outcome is found. So if I show an example for the shift router, that will be just here. So there's a file for each route. So we've got the shift router, which is linked to this, and the user router, which is linked to that. And the way that this framework works is it will send a request to a particular endpoint, just like this. So in this case, it's a GET request to this this endpoint. We're then just going to make sure that we're sending the right type of data, or getting and expecting the right type of data, which is JSON. And then what we're doing in this case is we're just checking to make sure that the server responds to 200 OK, which would indicate that we've got the correct data response. In this case, it would be a JSON with all of the shifts. So this is how the test framework works, kind of moving forward. So to see the outcome of all of them, I'm just going to scroll through. So we're getting a pass from all of them, testing all of the endpoints that are being used in the app. And yeah, this is the conclusion of the product video demo. Thank you very much.